The stock market was very steady going into the midterm election. Let's find out what could be next with Brian Stutland, the founder of Equity Armor Investments. Good to see you, Brian. What are you watching?
Well, I think now that we've sort of turned the page on the elections, what I'm looking at is the CPI coming out Thursday. The last few months, that number has been extremely important to the market, and the market's had some big reactions to that in terms of percent moves. And so let's take a look at that. Let's see how that plays out, because if it comes in a little hot, that's going to give more fuel to the fire for the Federal Reserve to continue their march towards 5% on interest rates. And if that happens, that probably is not so good for the stock market. So that's really what I'm turning and looking at right now, because that's going to give a pretty big indication of how we're going to move off this nice sort of November last few day rally that we've had here, and whether that can continue into the end of the year. We've had volatility somewhat muted the last few days, and so let's see, what can happen now that we've had these election results out, and see where this takes the market to the next level.
Brian, how much does this election actually matter to the market?
Angie, I'm not too sure it actually does. So much of things were priced in prior to it, so it really kind of sees how it plays out here. I think a lot of the market is trading on technicals right now, and I think it's really where is interest rates going to go? We've seen now the 10-year up above 4%. That's certainly going to have an impact on the housing market and how people borrow money and able to spend money after they purchase a home, and whether they're going to be locked into that home for a certain number of years at this point. So I think that has a greater impact on the economy moving forward. Where the 10-year interest rate moves, as long as it stays above 4%, I'm not so certain that equity seemed that attractive to me. And that's going to put sort of a headwind on whether equity, prices can really rally off of this, let's call it 3,800 area that we've sort of bounced back and forth around now for a couple of weeks in the S&P 500, and whether that can take it to the next level. So I'm skeptic that can really happen, especially if we get a hot reading on Thursday on the CPI.
Thank you for your Trader Talk, Brian.
Thanks, Angie. Thanks for having me.
Go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.